Hello, I'm Drake. Welcome to Working Dragon Mystic, where we discuss real, magical, and occult knowledge so that you can manifest real and tangible change in your life. Today in our Urban Magic series, we're going to be discussing Mugwort, so stay tuned. Alright, so today we're going to be talking about the magical properties of Mugwort. Mugwort is actually one of my favorite herbs to use in my practice. Now, I have a lot of people who tell me that they can't use open flames where they live, whether they're in a military barracks, they're deployed. College students often have this in their dorms. So this is a real issue. So when it comes to burning incense, smudging, or using a candle, this is a problem that often comes up. Because they want to try and cleanse their apartment, their barracks room, their dorm room, or themselves, and they don't know how if they don't have some way to burn something. And it is true, in our cleansing video, I discussed how you can use energy to do this. Some people, they don't feel energy does a good enough job, especially when they're starting out, and they want to have a bit more practice under their belt before they rely on it. And I get that, and I respect that. So I usually point them to Mugwort, because one of Mugwort's properties is it acts similar to sage. It's very cleansing, it's very protective, so it's a wonderful aspect for that. Now the way I have them do this is very simple. I have them basically take the Mugwort and make it into a tea. Now you can drink the tea, and that essentially cleanses you, or you can actually rub the tea on yourself. It'll do the same thing. In fact, you can even use Mugwort in your bath water if you wish. Though, I generally prefer not. I prefer just a light scrub down with it. Now that same tea can actually be used to sprinkle around the house just like blessed water. And again, you're getting that same cleansing, that same banishing effect. So, Mugwort's really great for that. And the scent of Mugwort is more grassy, very sharp, grassy-like smell. So for those people who have said that they don't like the smell of sage, or that they believe it smells like something else, Mugwort is also a great alternative. Now, some of the other properties of Mugwort, it's great for protection. We've already mentioned that. But it's also great for psychic work. Great for boosting psychic abilities and your psychic facilities in general. One area of this that it's said to excel in is in psychic visions. So if you're wanting to work on your third eye, your clairvoyance, or even dream work where you're seeking to have visions during dreams, Mugwort is excellent there. It also does help with trance and journey work greatly. In fact, in Norse magic, Mugwort actually does replace sage in many of their rituals entirely. And they love to use it for the trance and the journey work, and especially seed magic, which I hope I'm pronouncing that right, which is a form of trance-like magic that was often done for divinations or even sorcery, and diving into the web of the weird itself. If you're working on astral travel or soul travel, Mugwort again is a wonderful herb to use. Now for all these uses, you could burn Mugwort as an incense, or you could just drink the tea to utilize its benefits that way and still get all those benefits. Now for dream work, a lot of people say that it's better to make a sachet of it and put it in a little pouch and keep that in your pillow. One thing I've found over the years is Mugwort does have a pollen to it, so if you have allergies, putting it in your pillow seems to be a bad idea. It doesn't really seem to work too well if you have bad allergies. Some people it doesn't bother, some it does. Just be aware of that. So my go-to with almost any method of Mugwort anymore is to make the tea out of it. Now I do burn it for incense sometimes. And I know I don't usually do a lot of burning whole herbs for incense, but Mugwort works really well for me because it's so fluffy. It's like if you've ever seen old man's beard or bearded moss or hanging moss, that's real fluffy, and when it's dry, it burns really easily. So I take just a pinch of mugwort and make it look like a cotton ball, and I light that and let it burn in my little dish. It doesn't produce a lot of smoke, but it produces all that I would need for the ritual, and it burns itself out relatively quickly, and I don't have to worry about the hassle of lighting a charcoal disc or any of that. So using mugwort as an incense like that for me is really easy. Again, that's one of the reasons I prefer mugwort over many other incenses. Now, I should say, if you're going to use mugwort, be aware, first off, it does have an effect on the liver. So if you are using mugwort in a tea style, you don't want to be using it daily. You want to make sure you're putting some space in between it. Because its effects can range from mild to extreme, but for me, I just say don't use it daily. Me personally, I don't even use it once a week most of the time, but at most, I would only use it twice a week. And if I did that for a month, I would try to make sure there's a good week where I didn't touch it at all. Now, ladies, if you're pregnant or lactating at all, don't touch it. Mugwort has a reputation for causing lots of problems in those departments. So be sure not to stay away from mugwort in those instances, or at least see your doctor, because I'm not an herbalist. I'm not a licensed aromatherapist. I'm just a guy who studied some research, and I use it in my practice, and I know people who's used it, so I'm telling you what we know and what we found in our research. So at the end of the day, I'm going to say err on caution and don't touch it. Don't use it until you talk to your doctor for sure, okay? Now, the tea we talked about, you can also use that for cleaning your crystals or your scrying mirrors. It's really great for cleansing crystals. I know one person actually keeps a bed of mugwort that they rest their crystals in for cleansing. So if you're someone who likes to cleanse your crystals regularly, mugwort's a really great way to do it. And the bed of mugwort seems to work really well. I asked her about that before making this video, and she says she can use the same bed of mugwort for several months. In fact, she was able to use one bed of mugwort for up to a year before she changed it, though she prefers to change it out about twice a year if she can. But if you don't like the bed ideal, again, you can just use that tea that we were talking about. You just make your tea and you take a little of that water and you wipe your crystals down with it. Of course, unless the crystal is water soluble, don't do that. And it is great for, like I said, cleansing your scrying mirror. And of course, the tea is great for helping with scrying practice in general, because again, it boosts those visionary abilities. And lastly, mugwort also makes a great herb to put into a traveling sachet. So with the holidays coming, well, by the time this is up, they're probably here and gone, but maybe you're still traveling home. Mugwort makes a great herb that you can throw into a sachet for safe travel. Anyways, this has just been a quick video in our Urban Magic series, because mugwort, in my opinion, it is a great herb to keep on hand and use and utilize, and it does overcome a lot of those can't have the open flame issues, which is always nice to have the option. If you enjoyed the video, hit like, and be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you'll be notified anytime we release a new video. Also, drop us a comment below. We love to hear from you, and it helps the channel out a lot. Be sure to check us out over at workingdragonmystic.com. All of our blogs and videos can be found there, as well as all of our services and classes that we post. And catch me every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at the Magical Coffee Hour with my co-host, Linda, from Caffeine and Chaos. We're always there discussing some topic of the occult, and she likes to bring in the pop culture side and ask how they got it right or what they got wrong. And we have a live chat where we take questions, so we love to hear from you. And as always, the questions don't have to be on topic. So if you just want to ask us a question or come in and chat with us live, join us over at the Magical Coffee Hour. I'll make sure there's a link below. I'm Drake, and this has been Working Dragon Mystic. I'll see you next time.